world. My name is Ashley Collins. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Breakup Diaries. We're going to talk about how to politely end a conversation. This is something that I literally deal with every day because I work at a call center. So I'll be on the phone with someone. Have you noticed we still do this gesture for phone? Like, no one holds a phone like that. Anyway, that was totally random. But I'll be on the phone with someone, right? And, like, they'll be going on and on telling me their whole life story. But it's, like, you don't want to cut them off because you feel like you're having this emotional connection with them. But also, you kind of do have to end the conversation because it is your job. So we're going to talk about how to end conversations politely, in person, and on the phone. Okay? And if you have any other comments or suggestions, enter it on the comments below. It's down there somewhere. Okay, cool. First things first, you want to be actively listening to them. What does active listening mean? That means that you're not waiting for your turn to talk. You're waiting for certain button words though. You want to wait for the well, but, or for them to take a breath. Okay? So between those four things, one more time, wait for them to say well, but, take a breath, or just wait for that pause in the conversation. And then you can interject and interrupt them and follow through with the other words I'm going to tell you. Next thing you're going to do, in person, focus on their body. Focus on your body language. Forgive me. So when you're paying attention to someone, when you're giving someone your full attention, usually your shoulders are facing towards them, right? Have one of your shoulders, whichever one is your dominant shoulder. I'm right-handed, but have your dominant shoulder facing away from them, and put your foot, there's a technique that I used to do all the time when I was serving in restaurants, not serving in the war, but you put your foot in the direction that you want to start walking towards, okay? And that's called a pivot foot. If you're a dancer or you're a fighter, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So put your body, your shoulder and your foot in the direction that you want to go and start wrapping up that conversation, okay? Cool. So the next part in politely ending the conversation is say what you're going to do, but don't lie, okay? All the time people at work will be like, oh, my manager's calling me, and it's like, that's not very nice. It's not very kind. Why don't you just tell them the truth? Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, but I have to continue with my work. And you don't need to give an explanation. You don't need to make up this huge fairy tale lie by saying that, oh yeah, I forgot I need to go change my tire. I got to do this, I got to do that. And it's because it's like, it's very misleading, it's very dishonest, okay? Just say what you're going to do next and then end it at that, okay? Cool. Oh, and then also with wrapping up the conversation, say a kind and truthful comment, okay? So I'm going to give you some key button words to say. One sentence that you can say is, well, I appreciate you talking to me. Well is always a great it's a great word to use because it's a great substitute word filler for or but or so, okay? So one sentence you can say is, well, I appreciate you talking to me. Another sentence that you can say is, it was great talking to you. Repeat back what they said last. And this is something that gets a lot of people in trouble, okay? Don't say we should do this again. One more time. Don't say we should do this again in the future. Don't plan a future date, especially if you know that one, you're never going to see that person again, or two, you are going to see that person again, and then they're going to go back into that habit of rambling on and on and on. If you don't want to continue that conversation in the future, don't say that, because you know why? Because it's a lie. We're trying to be as truthful and as polite as possible, because I think there's a difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice is passive aggressive. Being nice is being a people pleaser. Being nice is I just want everyone to like me at the inconvenience of myself and of them. Being kind is I'm going to be firm. I'm going to be compassionate. Yeah, I'm going to set those boundaries. And you want to be kind with every conversation. Because I think that I know that common phrase is you have to teach people how to treat you, right? But also you're teaching that person how to treat other people, right? So like that's how that ripple happens. You letting them ramble on and on and on and on is going to result in them getting in trouble with someone else, getting told off by someone else, you know? So, and I think that I do a podcast every weekday called the Everyday Heroes. Sometimes I get out of breath talking. Wait for them to run out of breath and then interrupt them. But one of the topics we were talking about this week is was should kids go back to school during the pandemic? And I was listening to this doctor, and he was saying that going back to school is great for social skills, right? For a lot of people, they don't really know how to interact with real life human beings. So so you need that social interaction, you need that social practice, because how you talk to your parents, how you talk to your sister and brother is not how you interact with other human beings in real life. Right? So you need to practice those social skills every day. And this is one of the tactics that you can use to practice those social skills politely. Okay, when it comes to giving a reason of what you're going to do, give the reason that's a future date. As in, okay, so for example, when I was working in restaurants, right, I'm the kind of person where it's like, I want all the tables, because I can handle it, and then, but like sometimes like people won't want to talk to me, they won't talk to me. So like I'll always have my shoulder out in the direction that I'm going to go, right? Listening, chatting them up, but then saying, it was great talking to you. I need to go take care of this other table though, okay? Bye. That's it. That's it. Be firm, be assertive. And I think there's a difference between being assertive and being aggressive, because being aggressive means you're not giving them the chance, you're not giving the option. Being assertive means you want to give them the illusion of control. Okay, what else ask. Okay, so when you're in that long conversation with that person, right, ask questions, because the person who asks the most questions is the person who leads the conversation. So make sure that you're asking those questions, you're prompting them, you're waiting for those empty word fillers, and then interject with well, it was great talking to you. I really appreciate talking to you. This was really nurturing, etc., etc. End it right then and there. Okay? Cool. What else? What do you do? Okay. I get that we don't want to cut people off because we don't want to come off as rude. We don't want to have them say something mean to us. We don't want to say, well, I think that you're a rude human being. I was talking to you. Is it rude if I say that that's not your problem? I think a lot of us have a people-pleasing problem. We have a PPP. Where it's not rude to cut someone off if you have good intentions. It's rude to lead them on. It's rude to make them think that, oh, you're the go-to person because they're a great listener, knowing damn well you don't want to talk to them. I think that's... And I had a friend who was infamous for this. He would just have these long, drawn-out conversations with people, and then afterwards he'd be like, oh, God, I hated talking to them. And I'd be like, well, then why did you do it? That's so manipulative. That's so disrespectful, and that's such a waste of their time. And it's a waste of your time. If you don't want to talk to someone, you don't have to. You should want to talk to someone just because it's great talking to people. It's phenomenal talking to people, and it's okay to interrupt them because you have something else to do. Not necessarily saying you have something else better to do, but you do have other responsibilities. You need to set up those boundaries with people, and I can't stress this enough, don't lie to people, because that's not very kind. Okay, what else? Remember that it's not what you say, it's how. Why am I yelling at you? Remember that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Keep in mind your tone, okay? So when you're saying, well, it was great talking to you, thank you so much for taking the time to talk out to you. One more time. I also had to burp there, forgive me. Well, it was great talking to you. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Thank you so much for sharing that story with me. I'm gonna go now, okay? That's it. I definitely highly encourage you guys to practice this. What else was I gonna say? Oh, also keep in mind your intent. What do you want from this conversation? It's rude. Okay, I think that some people are saying that when I say like the pivot with your shoulder and your foot, it's rude to walk away from a conversation. It's not necessarily rude. It's rude to not be present because it's rude to not be present because you're secretly thinking, I hope this person shuts the fuck up. I can't wait for this person to stop talking. That's what's rude. That's what's disrespectful, because this is another human being that you're talking to, and at some point in your life you're going to need to talk to someone the way that they're hoping that you are listening to them. Don't be disrespectful in your brain. If you need to cut them off politely. And you're not being rude. You're teaching people how to treat themselves, you, and other people. I think that's it. I think that's it. Cool. Did I not cry in this video? What? I mean, there's nothing really prompted me to cry. Yeah, cool. I hope that these tactics help you a little bit in your everyday life and in your work life as well. Remember, be truthful, be honest, wait for those word fillers, and then wrap up the conversation, because you're the one who's in control. That's it. Okay, I gotta go sneeze. Bye.